Hey people, CzarThwomp here, and welcome to episode 32 of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, Justice for All. Last time we went through Gumshoe's testimony, and now we got Oldbag, and Edgeworth is traumatized. So let's get a move on. Miss Oldbag, what was your post on that night? The lobby. I was supposed to help set up the stage for that trifling show, but I refused to help. I'll have you know it was for that lead-head samurai show. I even took out a few of the nails. Maybe it was a good thing the show didn't go on. Yes. Though, if you know exactly what the whole purpose of that show was, Oldbag, you would discover that you would know that Oldbag was in all actuality shooting herself in the foot by essentially jeopardizing the set. Besides, that manager with the glasses seemed to be working hard at it without me, so I thought I'd take a break and spread my wings a little. Like Mothra from the Godzilla series, and that's when you went to hanging around the victim's door. Something you were interested in, and just what was that? It's not some little thing I can go around telling everyone, you know. It's a top secret between me and Juan. And Edgy, of course. Mr. Edgeworth, what is this thing she was interested in? I have no idea. I despise gossip, Your Honor. Gossip? If this has something to do with the case, then you can append it to your testimony. It looks like we shouldn't force it out right now. And did the witness stay in the vicinity of the victim's door the entire time? Oh, then would you tell us the number of people who went in and out of Mr. Gordon's room? I have no idea. I wasn't born so I could count things for those who didn't pay attention in class. That's why ever since I turned 20, I kept keeping track of how old I really am. What, 20 years after the universe was created? Yes, well, that would explain why your age was not recorded in the report. In any case, the witness then saw someone, correct? Who in the world was that? I'm not allowed to say. This sort of information has been carefully guarded from the masses, Sonny. The man that came out of Juan's room. He was... Yes, he was. I'm too scared. I can't say his name out loud. Oh, what I wouldn't give that Francisca's whip right about now. Well, I guess I can tell you since he was such a bad boy anyways. You saw my client. Are you sure about that? Yesy. Really? Annoying brat. When I say I saw someone, I saw that person. Why do I get a sense of deja vu? Maybe to avoid a mess like last year, I should delve into this a bit further. Basically, the person's clothes. Please tell me the core about the man's clothes in more detail. What a troublesome man you are, really. As if something like that really matters. But it does! Now, what was it? Oh, yes, it was that thing. What thing? That gaudy thing you always wearing. That racing jacket. He was wearing that at the detention center, too. That thing's meant for nothing but seducing women out of their pantaloons. Men! Right. So, Mr. Wright, was that testimony just... Of course it was important, Your Honor. Then perhaps you would like to point out what part of that testimony was important. Don't you see it, Edgeworth? Your Honor! I request that the witness said about the jacket be attended to her testimony. Well, I don't like to be bad or anything without reason, but if I must... Okay. Yes, I knew it. It was the button. Okay, good. Yeah, like I said, I don't know sometimes about just what we're going to have to prove and how we're going to go about doing it. Miss Oldbag! What? Don't say my name for no reason! Yeah, because you like Voldemort. You say her name, you summon her. Do you know what this is? Ah! It's a button number 2 on the Jammin' Ninja's costume! Okay, this is just creepy. Now I know she's an obsessed fan. She identified it in a single glance. Give it to here! Give it here! If you don't give it to me, I'll punish you with this! Wow, she really is a diehard fan to want a button covered in blood. She wants to clone one! This button was discovered on Mr. Unguard's body during a full body search. See? See? This button proves beyond a shadow of doubt it was that rascal Unguard. It was caught up in the pleats of his nickel samurai hakama pants. See? See? And Unguard is the nickel samurai. Witness! Now, it may just be me, and I do have an active imagination, but just now, didn't you just say that the defendant, Matt Unguard, was wearing his usual racing jacket? Ah, I'm so sorry. Sorry that you judge people based on what they wear. If I wore this the trade is just and maybe but instead I had to wear this ridiculous looking outfit, you'd agree that this outfit is right, guys. April Course stuck on my chest. Let me tell you, it's heavy, so heavy. I wish someone would they keep me that dream alive with those kids that they. Oh my God, it's my face. I understand now. I take a look in the mirror. Your clothes are absolutely interesting as I mean curling. You should take a tip from Edgeworth. Now he's got style.
Now hold your tongue still for 1 second. So what you saw in actuality was not Mr. Unguard, the man, but Mr. Unguard, the nickel samurai?
But when you think about it, they're really one and the same anyways.
Miss Oldbag, this is a very important part we're talking about.
Edgy Poo, do you think so too?
Well, it might be something worth thinking about. Just say it's important and agree with me for a change. Witness, think carefully and try to remember as much as you can before you testify.
Alright, if you insist.
I should be the one sighing, not you. Who I saw?
Unguard. Yes, now I remember. The Nickel Samurai. That's right, it was the Nickel Samurai that I saw. Yes, it would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. He had to go to that post-ceremony stage show right after the crime, you know. So he must have worn the Nickel Samurai costume when he was stabbed in point 1.
I knew it. I knew you'd say he was inside the costume.
What? Did you think there could have been someone else inside that costume? Don't be a bad little boy thinking such rude things. But the possibility does exist. Youngins today. I told you there's no way it was anyone else.
How do you know that?
Because I said so, and what I say is the truth.
At least she's just as delightful a witness as she was a year ago. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Would you please get on with your testimony? Watch your language, young man. What sort of tone is that to take with an elder? My youthfulness isn't what it used to be, so you should forgive me for everything. If you keep on barking at me like that, I'll start singing at the top of my lungs.
What?
A striking figure by the sea, standing all alone is he. He's the Nickel Samurai.
Is she actually singing? Someone help my poor ears. Mr. Edgeworth, can you please do something about this racket? Witness, I'll give you a piece of gum later if you'll be good and stick to the facts. Only Edgeworth can buy people with gum.
Okay, you promise, right?
Literally, Edgeworth, he's just badass. He's the only guy on this planet who can get away with just making the act of bribing someone with a stick of gum seem cool. Right, I'll be sending the bill for the chewing gum to your office at a later date. You can't pay the 20 cents, Edgeworth? Remind me to send you a thank you note later too, Edgeworth, old chum. Be a little more careful with your testimony, please. Not too long ago, you said he was wearing his racing jacket, and now he's not? Not too long ago. Then let me ask you this: when you were itty bitty, what was your grand dream? Huh? What do you want to be when you grow up, whippersnapper? My dream, huh? Well, I wanted to be Judge Wagner, hero of the public court. So what? Oh my, yeah, basically, I didn't remember that Phoenix actually said that. So essentially, my theory of the judge being Phoenix from the future who time traveled to the past to be like a Terminator of sorts, it's actually gaining more ground somehow.
See? And look where you are now. You're not Judge Wagner, are you? Are you?
Well,
What I said earlier. Who puts any weight into things like that? The now is everything. I can't be held responsible for the past.
since when did court become theatrics over testimonies?
All that matters is that man was inside the costume. Isn't that enough?
You think the judge would have had some comment about Phoenix Grand Dream becoming a judge? You think the judge would be like, Mr. Wright, your client's innocent because you are a man of class. Mr. What? You can't acquit the defendant that easily, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth, when you were a young boy, did you want to become a judge? No, I wanted to be a defense attorney. Well, there you go. Mr. Wright has better dreams and better judgment than you will ever have. Now, good day. Psh, slamming the gavel.
And why would that be? That way, no one can see his face, of course, but there's still no advantage for him that I can see. In fact, you would think the costume would make him stand out all the more. You are such an annoying child, you know that. You disagree with everything I say.
Isn't that what you're always doing to me?
I got it. Maybe it was more troublesome for him changing in and out of his costume.
Was there anyone else scheduled to appear at the post-ceremony show?
Well, all the contestants were supposed to go on stage in a friendly gesture thing. And that included the German ninja. Of course it included him. That's why when Ungar came out of Dio1's room, I didn't give it a second thought.
I see.
Well, anyways.
So let me ask you one last time. The person you saw, it really was the Nickel Samurai.
As showy as ever. Haven't I been saying that from the very beginning?
Can I throw in the towel yet?
You don't need to think too hard on this one.
Huh?
There's a contradiction in her testimony, and it's sitting in plain sight. The question is what the contradiction means for us.
Well, I have to figure out what you're talking about first, but okay.
Basically, it's back to my argument with the fingerprints. Because the knife has fingerprints. I was 5 steps ahead of the argument. Or rather, 2 steps to be specific. Please take a look at this.
Yeah, so it's a knife. Big deal. If you're trying to scare me with that, I'll have you know it won't work.
Actually, 3 pieces of evidence away. That's 3 steps ahead of the case. No, that's not my intention at all. That's the knife that was used on the murder, correct?
Your Honor, do you know why this piece of evidence is important to this case?
You don't even have to ask. It's because the defendant's fingerprints are on it.
Is that what you're driving at?
That is exactly what I'm driving at. Where are we driving at? Whose car are we driving?
If Mr. Ungar was really in the Nickel Samurai costume at the start of the murder, then it's impossible for his fingerprints to have been left on this knife. Actually, he would have wiped all previous fingerprints on this knife right off.
Oh, that's right. The Nickel Samurai wears gloves, doesn't he?
He probably took his gloves off before he began the stabbing. Why? And why would he do something like that? To leave his prints on the murder weapon? There's no way he would do something like that. However, there is one possibility. Then let's hear your possibility. It's very simple. The defendant went to the victim's room while in costume as the Nickel Samurai. At that time, the defendant had no intent to murder. He was probably just going to relax and talk with the victim about the stage show. They were rivals, Edgeworth. Do you go and just relax with Phoenix right after a trial? Which is why he took his gloves off.
But the murder still take place.
It's well known that the defendant and the victim had bad blood between them.
Yes, I have heard of that. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say about Mr. Edgeworth's theory?
So let me get this straight. Edgeworth's theory goes like this. When the defendant went to the victim's room, he had no intentions of killing him. Now, up to this point, are there any problems with his theory? Ugh. Ugh. I'm paranoid about this. I am really paranoid. I am not sure.
Contradiction. Oh, wait! Okay. Let me just check the photo. Okay. I'm gonna say there is a contradiction. This theory contains something in an earlier testimony. What are you babbling about? Now, for argument's sake, let's suppose Mr. Ungard was the killer. If that's the case, I think it's impossible for the killer to have gone to the victim's room without intent. Okay, I think I'm a little confused. Come on. Okay, what is it? What is it? Okay. Okay, what is it? What is it? Okay, what is it? What is it? Okay, come on. What is it? Alright, yes, the knife! This knife was used by Mr. Ungard at dinner. Yes, it was established that... Alright, what is wrong with me? What is it with me and this knife? Which means that if my client was in fact the killer, then he brought his knife with him when he went to visit Mr. Corda. I suppose. However, you just said it yourself. At that time, the defendant had no intent of murder. If that were true, then why would he bring the knife? He wouldn't, would he? Which means, Mr. Edgeworth, your theory was flawed from supposition 1. And one more thing. If the murderer was wearing that costume at the time of the murder, then there should be glove marks left on the knife. Which means the defendant's fingerprints shouldn't have been all over like shouldn't be all over it like bees on a hive. What is wrong with me? And that brings me to my final point. This knife was planted by the real killer to hide their identity and mislead us. Order, I say! Order in the court! Was this knife really planted by the killer? Why would the murderer do such a thing? To frame Matt Ungard. To frame my client, Mr. Ungard, of course. To frame? Aren't you forcing the interpretations a little too hard on this one? But we just established that the witness saw the nickel samurai in costume, and if that were true, then there shouldn't be a single fingerprint on this knife. Ah! Witness! Looks like I've made your life a tiny bit more difficult, huh, Edgy? Witness, did you or did you not see the nickel samurai? Well, I guess at first I might have forgotten, but... Are you saying you mixed up Mr. Ungard with the nickel samurai, his character on TV? But I mean, I can't really do anything about that. Look, I was waiting around in front of the doors because I wasn't waiting around for the nickel samurai, that's for sure. She wasn't waiting for the nickel samurai. Alright then, who were you waiting around there for? That's top secret to anyone outside of security. I have a feeling that you were waiting for Mr. Juan Corda. Am I correct, witness? Ha ha ha! The way you think, you are a sad amateur with a terrible case of nearsightedness. Amateur? Me? What am I an amateur of? So Oldbag was waiting around the door in front of the victim's room. But it doesn't sound like she was waiting to catch a glimpse of Mr. Corda.
Maybe Phoenix. Maybe the old bag was waiting around for that person.
If that's what I think me is hinting at, it's certainly possible. Miss Oldbag, you were waiting for this person to come out of the victim's room, weren't you? Who is this person? This is Adrian Andrews, Mr. Ungard's manager. But why would the defendant manager be in the victim's room? It seems that this is the latest rumor in circulation, Your Honor. Oh, this is... Ha, I see. The judge seems to be really into the article, if it can really be called such a thing. Then this manager with the initials AA, are you saying it's...
Adrian Andrews, without a doubt, the witness thought so as well. Looks like you found me out. Well, that's fine. I can throw away this whole sworn to confidentiality stuff.
Witness, what in the world are you...
Watch out, Phoenix. I've got a bad feeling about this. A very bad feeling.
I've got some secret information from a certain source. So that's why I was doing my own little investigation, in secret of course.
But what for?
Oh, just for myself. Personal reasons and all that.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, how will you proceed from here?
I really don't want to do this, however, I cannot simply let this point slide.
I see. Very well then, witness, please testify about this secret information.
Get ready. This is gonna take the wind out of you youngins.
I'm sure we're all capable of handling this. Really, it's not like we're 10 years old. To her, you're 10 years old. Because think about it, Oldbag's probably been around since the dawn of the universe. The universe was... Oh, I wouldn't be surprised if the universe was created after Oldbag.
Secret information. That Unga is one evil, evil man. He thought he could ruin poor Juan by causing a huge scandal. So to do that, he sent his own manager to get close with Juan. I cannot condone such dirty tricks, so I took action. Oh, and this is top secret, so you got that? Nobody else but you and me knows yet, okay?
The defendant sent his manager. What distasteful topic for this court.
What? Nobody's a gossip. And isn't that a saying? The truth is never pleasant.
Never heard that one before. Mr. Edgeworth, what about this Adrian Andrews person?
We have looked into this matter and found that the truth the article proposes is in fact baseless gossip.
But should this be true, then this proves that the defendant did bear ill will towards the victim.
So this means I have to smash this rumor once and for all.
Now then, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Be careful. The old bag seems rather excited right now.
That's right, Unga is nothing but your average foul-blooded youth.
Well, as the old saying goes, you've got to burn old bags with fire. Time to fire up the afterburners and hit the highway to the danger zone.
You can't say something like that without proof. That's just slander. But it's true. That woman was getting intimate with poor Juan. Look, it says so right here, doesn't it? Manager to the stars, Miss AA.
The name of the magazine this came from is Gossip Land, a subsidiary of Take-Two Studios.
What? Are you saying that gossip is just a pack of lies? Well, you know. I suppose next you'll swear to me that the news is 100% true. Honestly, Sonny, you can't discriminate between the news and gossip.
Yes, discrimination is bad, Mr. Wright. The judge, we'll put that on a bumper sticker. Discrimination is bad. Discriminate? When did I do anything like that?
Anyways, Unga will never get me to say touche.
A scandal? What do you mean by that?
Yeah, dim-witted one, aren't ya? I can't believe you don't know what a scandal is. Honestly, what are they teaching kids in middle school these days?
No, I wasn't asking what the word scandal means. Even I know that much.
Well, that Unga thought he could own a monopoly on popularity.
You don't have any proof that Mr. Ungar did such a thing.
You must be suffering from shock, the shock of hearing the truth. And now, since you're in so much shock, you can't do anything right.
You're right, I can't do anything. But boy, do I wish I could do something about you. Phoenix, where's the thinker statue when I need it?
Alright then, Sonny, show me what you've got. Can you show me proof that Unga didn't bear any ill will towards Juan?
Decline the offer to present. I don't have anything to offer.
See? Just as I thought. And you will lecture me without proof. You're just giving me a free pass to whatever I want, silly boy.
Me and my big mouth.
That's the way the cookie crumbles for you anyways.
So, what do you mean by I took action?
Like I already told you, I was lying in wait close to the crime scene. Once that slimy woman came out of Juan's room, I was gonna capture her and teach her a good lesson, something you youngins need. I had a cage, or I had a net. Yeah, just freaking... Oldbag has a cage above the door, just slams it down Adrian, and it drags her off.
You were going to teach her a good lesson?
I was gonna make her eat the damaging beams of my rain gun, like this.
No, stop!
Well, it wasn't too bad that woman didn't come through that door that night.
Wait!
What? I'm a busy woman. Tea time with the kids is over. Secret information that no one else knows yet.
If that's true, then how do you know this secret information?
Huh? Well, that's because I'm a pro. Yes, that's it. It's a secret. Even if you drill a hole into my brain, you'll never find out.
How in the world did that old bat get such a secret piece of information?
I believe it's Lada's camera. I know she stole Lada's camera, but if you don't be a good girl and tell us where you got that secret information, you won't get to go home today. Edgy boy, what are you doing? Help me!
What do I have to do with this?
Just do this for me. You'll get your reward.
Yeah, trust me, there is no reward you can give Edgeworth. Only punishment and pain. I don't want your reward, but you don't leave me much of a choice. The witness could have gotten her information from anywhere. It's even possible that it was spontaneously made up inside the witness's head. And he lectures me on reckless blabbering. As long as we don't know where this information came from, it's quite a waste of time to focus on this line of question.
Where did Oldbag get her inside information? She got it from Lada's camera. I just want to make sure. There has to be something I can use to figure out.
Sounds like just a nut.
Sounds like just another tip gossip, doesn't it?
But you can't just ignore it either. It makes your client look bad either way.
Well, I don't think I heard anything really out of the ordinary just now.
There's has to be something we can catch her on.
Yeah, and when I find it, I'm gonna press the heck out of it. Simple. We already did find it. Okay, press. Basically, it's Lada's camera. You gotta present Lada's camera. So no one else is supposed to know this secret information, correct? If that's true, then why do you know it, Miss Oldbag? Why are you looking at me like that? Stop it! Witness? I'm sad to say it, but this is how you found out your secret, isn't it? Lada's camera. The investigative photographer, Lada Hart.
Oh yes, I remember that mischievous girl.
She reported that she had lost a certain note she had written to herself.
She reported such a thing?
On that piece of paper, she had written down some of her outrageous impressions about the relationship between the victim and Miss Andrews. What? Outrageous idea, you say? No, I said impressions. Then everything written on this piece of paper is completely meaningless. Aha! That's it! That's the note! No! You see, this is something completely different. This is my top secret list of groceries to buy! All my roofies so I can drug Edgy Poo!
Then you are the one who took Miss Hart's note.
We'll answer that next time! Anyways, I really appreciate that you stuck around to watch this episode. You're a great viewer. If you come back for the next one, if you like the video, like, subscribe, comment, share, do whatever you want. With that, I'll see you later. Bye!